Now, Scribble comes with a database of over 10,000 different articles that you can choose from. And of course, you can write your own content as well, and actually pull content from a URL. And I'm going to show you that here in just 1 second. Okay, so as you'll see, we have a gallery of over 210 different templates. Now, the front end offer, I believe you get 50 templates with it. There is an upsell to get more, as well as get access to this Prime gallery, which has 15 additional kind of more detailed and more visual and more complex layouts that you can use. Okay, now again, those are not with the front end offer, but they are available to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and just pick and get into this and pick one of these templates. So I'm just going to choose this affiliate Bible one right here. Now you can view these first to see if it's something that you like, if you like the layout. So this is this one here, and you can see it has a couple of different page types and a thank you page at the end. Okay, so that's really how a lot of the templates are comprised. Okay, there's a front cover, there is a table of contents, and then there are, depending on the template that you choose, different page layouts that you can choose for each of your pages. Okay, as you see, this one here has 3, and then it has a thank you page. Okay, so that is basically kind of the makeup of all the templates, and each template just has different amounts of content pages that you can choose from, different types of layouts. So this one here, I'm going to choose, and I'm just going to click use. So the first thing we're going to do is give it a name, and this one is about affiliates. And I don't really care much about the content at this point. I just want to show you more so how it works, not so much worried about what the content is. All right, so I'm going to hit next. Now, we're going to get into the different types of options. Now, as I've said, you can grab something from a URL, and it will literally import that information. Word of caution, make sure that you have permission to actually use the content if you're going to use this particular option. Now, also when you grab content from a URL like this, where it's kind of going out and auto-grabbing it for you, there is usually a little bit of cleanup that's involved there. It may bring in some elements you don't want, but you'll see as we get into this that the visual builder is very easy to kind of get rid of that stuff if you don't want it. There's a start from scratch, which is what I'm going to use right now and is the recommended way to do it. And actually, I'm going to use a combination of the start from scratch and start from an article collection. Okay, and I'm going to show you that here in just a second. You can also copy and paste your content manually, right? If you just write it yourself, you can certainly just choose the template and go ahead and insert that content wherever you want, based on your article. Or you can upload it from a Word file. So if you have it in an unformatted Word document, it will automatically grab the content and populate the template for you. Again, these options here, right here, the URL and this one may require a little bit of cleanup, a little bit of adjustment to make sure that it's looking perfect. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start from scratch, and I'm going to go ahead and hit next here. All right, so basically what this is going to do is it's going to open up this template, and it's going to just put dummy, lorem ipsum text in there so that I can see the layout, so I can visually see the layout. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this. And it'll take just a second to load. There's a couple things that have to load before it's ready. You'll know it's ready when a green message comes up here that says that everything's been imported. And it usually just takes a second here. And there we go. Okay, so data has been successfully saved. All right, so now you're going to see that this is the actual layout that I have, okay? And you'll see it's just fake text. And you can see there's some things I'm probably going to want to change in here. But here is the basic start, all right? Now, what I can do at this point, you'll notice as I'm kind of scrolling around here that it has different, you're seeing these little boxes kind of highlight. This is where all the settings are for all the different types of elements that you can choose, okay? For instance, here's your text. Comes with a nice little editor there. There's also a lot of advanced settings for pretty much every element. By clicking that little settings icon here, you can go ahead and set any of those settings for each of your elements, as well as the actual row elements and page elements. So it kind of has a hierarchy, right? There's the page, then there's the row that contains this content here, and then there's, of course, the actual content elements that you can adjust as well. And lots of settings for each of those for you to go ahead and use. Now, there's one kind of cool thing about it. It's called a colorizer. And so what you can do with that, I'm going to go ahead and just do it here real quick, is there's a bunch of different kind of preset color themes that you can use, and I'll just click one here just to kind of show you what it does. But as you'll notice, you just saw my text kind of changed colors there. I'll go ahead and do it again. There, now it's a nice white. So I'm going to kind of, I may just actually just leave it right there at that one, and that's fine. Now you can reset that to default as well just by clicking this button if you don't really like it, or there's a randomizer button that you can just randomize the color schemes as well. Okay, so now at this point, I'm starting with just dummy content, right? Now, there are settings for the entire ebook right here, and that's you can have global text and font settings, your headers and your footers. Now, your header is right here. You'll see it says header. So this is something you'll want to change to maybe, say, my great affiliate marketing ebook or something like that. Whatever the kind of the title is probably where you want that header. And you can actually even hide those if you want to. You don't have to display the headers or the footers. It will automatically page number your pages for you, and you can have that. It doesn't have to say page 1. It could say, I don't know, maybe it's a different language you want to use or something like that. But whatever you type in here, it's basically going to show up there. But I'm going to leave that as page. All right, so we can turn those on and off if we want to as well. Now, there's also this generate table of content, okay? Now, what it's going to do is it'll automatically create this table of contents for you because obviously this is just fake text. So anywhere where I put a heading or a headline, you'll notice there's an element called headline. It's going to take those headlines and it's going to put them in here in your table of content along with the actual page number that it's on. Okay, so it'll auto-generate that for you once you've got your all your content in and you're happy with the way everything looks. All right. Now, as I've said, I don't have a pre-made article, so I'm going to go ahead and use their article database. And I'm going to show you how that interacts with when you start with just a template like this, all right? So I'll say new article. Now, there's a bunch of different ways you can grab those articles, again, from the website URL. You can copy and paste it manually here if you have the text, upload that Word file, or start from the article collection. And you'll see there's a ton of different categories here that you can choose from, okay? Now, in this example here, I'm just going to choose the first one. You can view those articles as well, just to see what's in it and get a word count on it as well. But I'm going to go ahead and just choose one here because I just want to show you how this works. So I'm going to go ahead and add this article. You can add multiple articles to one ebook, right? So you can search on some content. Maybe you find a couple of good things. You want to mix and match, do some editing, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to just go ahead and add that article. Excuse me. Okay, now it's retrieved, and it's going to go ahead and scroll me all the way down. Okay, so what it does, if you'll notice, it just puts it down right at the end of the content pages, and it just puts that content in here. Okay, now, obviously, I want it to look like this. This is the template that I've chosen, okay? Now, in this case, let's just say that this is the text that we want. As I said, it's very easy to add and remove pages. So let's just say I don't want this page. Okay, great, that's gone. That one I do want, that one I do want. Okay, let's just have it 2 pages long. All right, so what I'll do is, right now this is called AdSense Pros and Cons. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this text, and I'm going to say, okay, that is going to be the first art, or the kind of first section of my content. All right, so I have that. I can go ahead and take whichever content I want from this particular article, and I'm just going to grab it from here. And just going to go ahead and copy that and paste it in here. Great. Okay, that's looking good. My next headline is, let's say I want to take here, and I'm just going to call this, I'm just going to say this is just more content. Of course, we want to get more creative with our headlines, but for this purposes, I'm going to do that. And what I'm going to do is take some more of this text and say, okay, I know I've already done this part of it. I'm also going to take, bits and pieces from this as well, and we'll just say, I'll just take it from here, from there, to there. That's the content I'd like to put in this little block right here. I think that'll fit well. Now, of course, you can adjust this layout. You don't have to have this image there. You can swap all of this stuff out. You don't have to have it there if you don't want. Okay, now here, build an audience. I'm actually just going to leave that title right there, but I'm just going to put a little bit of real text inside of that. Oops. Oh, yeah, and you can, of course, drag and drop your content in different areas if you'd like. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and grab this and put it in my block right here. All right. Okay, so there's that. So now we have our 2 pages that we're happy with. If you're done with the article that you've imported, again, you can leave it here and just simply use it like it is, but I don't want it anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to delete that one too. And now I'm back to my ebook. Okay, now I can do all kinds of adjustments here. Now, obviously, this looks a little off, right? This little headline here is really supposed to be right at the top of that yellow, okay, so that it's still in the blue. Oops. But what I want to do is I want to change the color of this to white. I want it to stick out a little bit more. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to click into the entire row here and check out its settings, because I want to put a little bit of top margin right there. That's exactly where it should be lining up, okay, for that particular page. So that looks good. Fine there, fine there. Now again, I said you can add elements or remove them or edit them as much as you'd like to. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little image right down here because I want to show you what's offered here as far as images are concerned. Okay, so what I could do is add a new element, or I could add a new row if I wanted to. Okay, and that's right here. All right, so if I went ahead and added a new row, and there's different layouts, 2-block, 3-block, and so forth. I'm gonna go ahead and let's just say I have a little bit more text that I want to add, but I want a little bit, a small image and some text. So I'm gonna put that there. Now I'm going to click this. Here's the different elements you can use. Headline, a single image, text, dividers, buttons. Everything is clickable, by the way. If you put any type of URL in here, you have images be clickable. All your hyperlinks will be clickable as well. So they have bulleted lists and image bullet lists as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a single image. Okay, and there it is. And now I want to actually populate that image. So of course there's a bunch of different settings. There's alt text for it, all kinds of different settings that you can use. But I want the actual image. So I can put the URL to an image here if I want, or I can click this button. I can upload my own image. There's a ton of different stock images that you can use across a bunch of different categories. There's tons of different categories that you can use as well. There's if you have a stock account, okay? So, yep. So, of course, if you have the actual accounts, you can hook those up as well and use those. There's some system images that you can use right here. There's system backgrounds, there's Web 2.0 icons, there's all kinds of different images and choices that you can use. So for this, I'm just going to choose, and I'm just going to say marketing. Let's just see what comes up here. I'll submit that. Okay, great. All right, so for these purposes here, I'm just going to choose an image. I'm just going to choose this one. All right, so there it is right there. I can go ahead and, of course, change the size of that if I'd like. 400. Well, it's going to be limited because I picked a 2-block area, so this is really built more for a smaller image, and that's fine. And then, of course, we would have some text that we'd want to put in there as well. Now, for these purposes, I'm going to just copy this and just put the actual text in there. Put that block. Throws in some fake text. Whoops, fake text, and we will paste that in. Okay, great. Let's just say that this is what I want. Now, I may want to put a little bit more padding, or excuse me, margin on that. Let's move it down. Okay, looks good there. All right, so now at this point, I'm happy, right? Okay, so I've got my ebook. I am good to go. I'm going to go ahead. Now, you'll see this table of contents here is still the fake, right? Because we haven't generated our new table of contents yet. It's based on the headlines that we have put into our ebook. So I'm going to go ahead and hit settings. I'm going to generate this table of contents. And there it is right there, right? I have my AdSense, more content, build an audience. Those are the 3 sections that I have in my particular ebook, okay? And of course, it numbered the pages as well. Now, I'm going to want to put my name in there, the author name, maybe change the name of the actual ebook. All that stuff is all editable. Everything is editable, okay? So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this. Okay, everything is saved, and I can go ahead and generate that particular ebook. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you're going to get 2 options that are going to basically come up here. You can download the PDF. For now, I'm just going to open it in a new tab so that I can show you guys here what this looks like. All right, great. Here it is. My author name. There's my table of content. there is my complete ebook. Done that quickly. Very simple to use. Okay, now let's take this a step further. Let's say that I have a client, okay, that I'm doing work for. Maybe I'm, on Fiverr or wherever you're at, freelancer.com, Upwork, wherever it might be, and you're selling your services to create these ebooks. You can publish this. Okay, now what that's going to mean is you can set up a client, okay? And this particular client, and how this is going to work is we're going to be able to select the pages that we want to publish to, okay? And this is going to be designed for, basically for feedback for your client, so they can look at your product and say, yeah, this looks great, or let's make these changes, and I'm going to show you those as well. Now there's a client in here already, so we'll go ahead and do that, and I'm going to publish this. Now, once it's published, we're going to have a couple of choices here. We have an action, right? We can visit the URL, which we're going to do right now, or we just copy this URL and send this off to our clients. Now, this is a non-branded. There is no branding. They're never going to know what you're using to create this ebook. It's a completely non-branded URL and also no branding on the page. So let's go ahead and take a look at that page. Okay, now, I am already logged into the system, so basically what your client would see is as soon as they click any of these pages or anywhere on here, they're going to be asked to log in, okay? So they're going to be logging in through their Twitter account, I think it's Facebook or Google, one of those three choices, okay? They're going to log in, and they're basically going to then go ahead and start making comments. Now, let's go ahead and do that. So let's just say I wanted this a different color, the heading, okay? I'm going to say change headline to white. Okay, great. Post the comment. Wonderful. And as you'll see, it puts a little kind of a message history here. Right here, let's go to page 3. And here I want, I have new content sending to you now. Okay, great. All right. Okay, wonderful. So let's just say they're done. Everything's all good. They're good to go. All right. So next thing we're going to do at that point is we're going to be able to now see under our clients area. Oh, actually, let's go ahead and save and get out of this. And we'll go to our client dashboard. All right, exit out of here. Yep. And we'll go to clients. And here we have this Robin right here. Okay, now you're going to see this is where it's giving you the information. Okay, and now here it is. Right there is the actual thing. Right, change the headline to white. Great, all done. So this feedback is back to you. You can mark it as done. It'll change it to green. Post the comment. Good to go. Number 3 right here. Added new content. Mark it as done. Post the comment. Wonderful. Now you can get a hold of your client. Just let them know, hey, all the edits have been done. Go ahead, hop back into that link, take a look, let me know if there's anything else you need. So it makes it real simple for you to communicate back and forth with your client and get kind of on-the-fly edits, right? Pretty cool. All right, cool. Let's jump into a couple of these other things here now. 3D covers and flip books. So let's go back to actually, we'll go right into 3D covers here. All right, and what I'm going to do is create a new 3D cover. Now we have some choices, right? We can start from a template, we can start from an existing project, or start from scratch, where you can just build it yourself. Okay, so this one here, I am going to start from an existing project, all right? Because I already have the ebook created. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And then I'm going to use this one. These are all my projects. This is the one I want. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. Okay, so now once it's loaded, of course you can make any adjustments. This is not going to change the actual ebook, but you can change the cover on its own if you'd like. So you can go ahead and make those edits, same type of editor. And then what we want to do is just generate the 3D cover. Now we're going to have some choices here of different different layouts, different views. I'm going to go ahead and choose this binder looking thing here, and it's generating my 3D cover right now. And there it is. All right, so we've now got the cover. We're good to go. All right, we can just download that, put that off whatever we need to do with it. All right, so very simple to create your 3D covers. Now I'll go ahead and just save it, and we're going to go ahead and exit out of here, and I will show you how we can convert all that ebook right into an actual flip book. Okay, so I'm going to create a new flip book. And I want to go ahead and use this one as the flipbook. And now there's a background. This is basically the background of the flipbook you can choose from. So there's a few different ones in here. And I'm just going to use this vintage looking one. And we'll just call it affiliate again. And go ahead and create that. Now, once this is generated, I'll show you the different things that we can do. Okay, so now we have it created right here. There's some settings that we can use. All right, we can actually publish to a public URL. All right, so if we wanted to send this off into an email, or if you just wanted to put that URL on a button to pop this thing open, you can do that. You can publish it that way. There's different toolbar options as well when they open the flipbook. All right, you can have it show the full view option, the print PDF option, sounds on or off, smart band, all kinds of different settings that you can use. You can have the alignment horizontal or vertical, background colors you can change. You can actually change the background image if you don't want to use the one that we've chosen. All kinds of default screen lighting. There's all kinds of different cool things that you can do when somebody actually opens this particular flipbook, right? So let's just go ahead first and actually open it and take a view. All right, so there we go. And you're going to notice there's brightness settings here that people can adjust, and of course flip back and forth through it. But let's go ahead and flip through it. There's that, and I'm not sure that you can hear that if it's coming through, but it kind of makes a noise when it's turning pages, right? So we have that, and then we have our thank you. Okay, so as you can see, it creates a really cool interactive little flipbook as well. Now, there's other settings as well, which are called web widgets. Now, what you can do here is, this is just different ways that you can kind of get this flipbook out there. You can have it embedded in an iframe. You can have a button enabled where it's going to pop it for you. You can have a pop-up embed, which basically you can set the timing on it. So after a certain amount of time, it's going to go ahead and just pop up on the screen. Or there's a custom embed, which is a little bit more for advanced users, but you can basically embed it right inside of an HTML page as well if you don't want to have people interacting to click a button, in order to view it. You can have it just display right there on your web page. All right. So lots of cool features, very cool features inside of Sqribble. Very simple to use. I've used a lot of these programs in the past, over the past years. A lot of them are very buggy. I've not seen a great one, especially one that creates the entire ebook for you. A lot of 3D cover makers out there that, I haven't had great experience with, but have managed to get through. But so far, in my review, I've just been using this a couple of days. I didn't run into one bug. Everything worked the way that it was supposed to work, and that's rare for a new piece of software. Usually there's going to be a bug here or a bug there. Honestly, I had no issues, and you saw I was clicking through everything. I didn't run into really any issues at all. There's a nice little training session. There's a section. There's 4 or 5 videos there that walk you through everything. But like I just showed you, it's very simple to use and very powerful. Now, again, keep in mind when you go check out the sales page, just make sure you watch what you're getting for the front end. The couple of premium upsells there are the 3D covers and the flipbook option. So make sure that you check those out. I highly recommend that you get them. As you saw, very cool and very simple to use. Tons of different templates. And you're good to go, as well as that whole really client management dashboard. And you have the rights to sell any ebooks that you create on here. You have those rights, okay? So you have those rights kind of as an agency. And it keeps that branding hidden as well, so they don't know where it's coming from. So go ahead, wherever you're viewing this video from, but there'll be a button down below at somewhere on here, and go ahead and click that button. Go on over and get your copy of Sqribble.